Senator Mullen, please.
Perhaps one of the most fundamental freedoms that we enjoy as citizens of a democracy is that of freedom of expression. And I would say that that's one of the things that marks us out from countries like China, and indeed many other countries that disregard human rights constantly, that people are free in our society to express their thoughts freely, subject to the minimum of restrictions. And in fact, it's the real test of our tolerance as people is our willingness to accept and take on board that people will express points of view. It's not the people who trenchantly express points of view that we agree with. That's not where the test of our tolerance and liberalism is. It's when we kind of passionately disagree with those people. And it's in that context that I want to note the publication and the soon to commence discussion in the Dáil of the Criminal Justice Incitement to Violence or Hatred and Hate Offences Bill 2022. I think this is a very important piece of legislation. I think it's very important that we scrutinise it carefully. I note, for example, that following recommendations that I would have made directly to the Department of Justice, I'm glad to see that there is the inclusion of reasonable contributions, not just on literary and scientific matters, that these enjoy, if you like, a defence, but that religious discourse is also included in that. I think that's very important. I also note section 11, which provides for a direct recognition of freedom of expression, and provides that discussion or criticism of matters related to a protected characteristic, where a contribution to debate or material or behaviour is solely that mere discussion or criticism of matters related to protected characteristics cannot be caught by the legislation. And this is important because in striking the balance between freedom of expression and prevention of incitement to hatred in our society, the balance can be got wrong. And I want just to note very briefly and in conclusion, the UN Secretary-General has discussed this. The Assistant Secretary-General for Human Rights, Ilse Brands-Keres, has pointed to the danger that, for example, disinformation can get used as a pretext to intimidate and harass critical voices, and that states sometimes get it wrong when they clone other countries' legislation in this area, where governments respond to public pressure by rushing in with simple solutions for complex problems. Thank you. I just wanted to put that on the record and say it's really important that we scrutinise this legislation carefully in the coming weeks to see does it indeed get the balance right. But the scrutiny is only beginning.